Sixth chapter, Lord Krishna's departure from Hastinapura and his arrival at Dwarka. Canto 1. After being enlightened by the words of Bhishma Deva, Maharaja Yudhishthira gave up his grief and began ruling the earth along with his younger brothers. During the reign of Maharaja Yudhishthira, there was regulated rainfall, and the earth produced all of men's necessities in profusion. Due to their fatty milk bags and cheerful attitude, the cows moistened the grazing ground with milk. In addition, the rivers, oceans, hills, mountains, forests, creepers, and active drugs paid their tax in every season to the king in abundance. Because Maharaja Yudhishthira ruled the kingdom strictly according to religious principles, the subjects were not disturbed by mental agonies, diseases, or excessive heat and cold. Lord Krishna resided at Hastinapura for a few months and then approached Maharaja Yudhishthira for permission to depart. Krishna offered his respects by bowing down at Yudhishthira's feet, and in turn the king lifted him up and embraced him. After this, Krishna received obeisances and embraces from others and then mounted his chariot. At this time, Subhadra, Draupadi, Kunti, Uttara, Gandhari, Dhritarashtra, Yujutsu, Kripa, Dhaumya, and the Pandavas, except Arjuna, who was accompanying Krishna, nearly fainted, for they thought that it would be impossible to bear separation from their beloved Lord. With their hearts melting on the pot of attraction, they gazed at Lord Krishna with unblinking eyes and moved here and there due to anxiety. Other palace ladies came to see Krishna, and only with great difficulty could they refrain from crying, thinking that such tears would be inauspicious at the time of departure. As the Kuru ladies smiled with shyness and affection and showered flowers from the palace rooftop, various types of drums and other musical instruments were sounded in the Lord's honor. Arjuna held a handheld umbrella over Krishna's head, while Uddhava and Satyaki fanned him. The Brahmanas uttered their benedictions, and the ladies on the palace roof discussed among themselves about the great fortune of Krishna's wives at Dwarka and the gopis of Vrindavana. This talk of the transcendental pastimes of the Lord was more attractive than the hymns of the Vedas. Lord Krishna accepted their devotional offerings by smilingly casting his glance over the ladies, and then he departed from the city. Maharaja Yudhishthira provided a small army to escort Krishna, and then he and his brothers accompanied the Lord for some distance due to their great affection for him. Finally, Krishna persuaded the Pandavas to return home, and after doing so, he continued swiftly on the road to Dwarka. Lord Krishna passed through the provinces of Kuru, Jangala, Panchala, Surasena, Brahmavarta, Kurukshetra, Matsya, Sarasvata, and then the desert country. He would suspend his journey each evening so that he could perform his religious duties at sunset, and wherever he travelled, the local people welcomed and worshipped him with great respect and gave him valuable presentations. Finally, after passing through the kingdoms of Suvira and Avira, Lord Krishna reached his own country, the kingdom of the Anarthas. Upon arriving at Dwarka's outskirts, Lord Krishna sounded his counsel, the Panchajanya, to herald his arrival. The pure white conch shell appeared to become reddened by the touch of Krishna's lips, so that it seemed like a white swan was playing in the stems of red lotus flowers. The citizens of Dwarka had been morose due to separation from Krishna, but when they heard this transcendental sound, they quickly ran out from the city to have a long awaited view of the Lord. As they came before Lord Krishna, the residents of Dwarka presented him with gifts while welcoming him in ecstatic language. The people said, O Lord, it is our good fortune that we have once again come under your protection today. Now it is again possible for us to look into your smiling face, which is full of affectionate glances. O lotus-eyed Lord, whenever you go away to Mathura or Hastinapura to meet your friends and relatives, every moment of your absence seems like a million years. At such times, our eyes become useless as it bereft of the sun. O Master, if you are away all of the time, then how will we continue to exist? While entering Dwarka, Lord Krishna acknowledged these greetings by casting his transcendental glance over the citizens, and he also saw how the city had been gorgeously decorated and was full of opulence. The streets, marketplaces, and public parks were thoroughly cleansed and moistened with scented water. The city gate, as well as all the doorways and arches along the roadway, were decorated with banana trees, flower garlands, mango leaves, and colorful flags. Even in every residential doorway, auspicious articles such as yogurt, fruit, sugarcane, incense, lamps, and full pots of water were placed, and fruits, flowers, and unbroken seeds were strewn here and there over the ground. Upon hearing of Krishna's arrival, Vasudeva, Akrura, Ugrasena, Balarama, Pradyumna, and the other sons of the Lord abandoned their engagements of eating, sitting, or resting and hastened to meet him. Keeping the Brahmanas and elephants in front, they rode upon their chariots and were accompanied by the sounds of bugles and the chanting of the Vedic hymns. Hundreds of famous prostitutes, all beautifully decorated, proceeded on various vehicles, being very eager to see the Lord. There were also numerous dramatists, singers, dancers, and learned speakers who desired to offer their respective talents for Krishna's pleasure. Indeed, all the citizens came out to greet Krishna, and in turn the Lord offered each and every one of them due respect and honor. Thus, the Lord greeted the various grades of persons by bowing his head, exchanging words, embracing, shaking hands, giving affectionate looks and smiles, and awarding assurances and benedictions. As Lord Krishna passed along the public roads, accompanied by his elderly relatives and Brahmanas, the ladies got up onto the roofs of the palaces to see him, for they considered these to be the greatest festival. Although the inhabitants of Dwarka were accustomed to seeing the Lord daily, since he is the reservoir of all beauty, they never became satiated. As Lord Krishna passed along the road, an umbrella protected his head from the sunshine, and peacock fans moved in semicircles while showers of flowers fell upon the road. With his bright yellow garments, it appeared as if a dark cloud was surrounded simultaneously by the sun, moon, lightning, and rainbows. After entering his father's palace, his mothers, headed by Devaki, embraced Krishna, and in turn he offered his obeisances unto them by placing his head at their feet. When the mothers sat Krishna upon their laps, due to intense parental affection, milk began flowing from their breasts and tears from their eyes wetted his body. Thereafter, when Krishna entered his own palaces, his queens felt overjoyed to see him after such a long absence. Being roused from their meditations, they got up at once from their seats while covering their faces due to shyness, as was the social custom. As they looked at their lord with coy glances, the bashful queens first of all embraced Krishna in the innermost core of their hearts. Then they embraced him visually, and at last they sent their sons to embrace him. Although they tried to restrain themselves, the wives of Lord Krishna could not help but shed tears of joy upon seeing him after such a long absence. This simple woman thought of Krishna as their beloved husband, and since he never seemed to leave their sides, they considered him to be dominated by them. Actually, however, they were unaware of the extent of Lord Krishna's glories. Although their beautiful smiles and furtive glances were exciting enough to conquer Cupid or even Lord Shiva, they could never agitate the senses of the Lord, for he was unattached to them. This is the divinity of the Supreme Lord. He is not affected by the qualities of material nature, even though he may be in contact with them. Similarly, the devotees who have taken shelter of the Lord also do not become influenced by the material modes of nature.